Oh, it's been a little bit. Your least favorite bearded individual? Uh, Back to make a video because I'm supposed to or something. Been a couple days. Been busy. As this pandemic is starting to come to a close somewhat, I find that all of a sudden, all the activities and things that I did are requiring more of my time than they did when I was sitting at home and couldn't necessarily do a whole lot. So I'm dealing with that. As soon as I get off work here in about 50 minutes, I'll hop over to homework and work on that. Because my spring break was taken away. So yeah. Went to dinner with my mom last night. That was pretty good. I haven't talked since my oral surgeon dentist appointment incident Friday. So I went in. Everything seemed to be going pretty well. And he went to numb my mouth. And when he did that, he missed. And the Q-tip went up my nostril. So at that point, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Because whatever, he was doing that and it went up my nose. And I just thought about the fact he then stuck it in my mouth. Didn't think about that before. Yeah, my nose was all numb. And I didn't realize that until I got out in the car and you take your mask off and look at my face. I'm like, man, my nose feels like it's full of boogers, like just packed. Well, that's because I couldn't feel it. It was completely numb. So, yeah, that was fun. Tooth feels better. Very expensive. I guess technically it's still not done. Because now I gotta go back to the regular dentist to have the bridge built. And I'm hoping, seeing that this dentist that did the root canal and stuff was fairly confident that I'd be able to keep the crown that's on there, which would be good because I paid $800 for it, I think, and I needed it, but the guy didn't do what he was supposed to do. So I'm not a big fan of paying for the same thing twice. So let's hope that I don't have to have the bridge. I can save myself thousands of dollars. I don't think what else didn't do a whole lot. As I mentioned, I've been getting busier trying to get everything done. One of my charities has a 5K race that I'm trying to get sponsorship dollars for. And I have a lot of people that say, we'll do something. And it's still early, so I'm not saying they won't, but a lot of places are saying no. And you have to understand that with the last year, how much of their business has been hurt because they couldn't open up the dining room, or they couldn't do this or that. So it's a little harder to find sponsorship dollars this year. So if you own a business or know anyone that does, my pack just starting at $100. Get your name out there. Thought about buying a $100 package for someone. Maybe I should do a raffle. And I can put in for people that I know that own a small business, and $100 worth of promotion may not be a lot, but if you get one client out of that $100 promotion, do you pay back? Does it take 3 clients? And if I'm paying for it, never know. We'll see. I'd have to see how many small businesses or friends that I have that could benefit from something like that. And it has to be, age and appropriate for kids, as the superhero center is centered for kids and families, so I have to keep it appropriate. Which reminds me of a funny story. So communicate with the president of the board, typically through Facebook, and we opened up it's a place called Full Tilt Studios in Rockford, and they do charity events. You set up, and X amount of it will go to the charity. So I messaged the president, hey, would you, do you think this would be a good idea? I know we're in the middle of a pandemic. And her response is, I don't know if that's appropriate. So apparently people confuse it with Tilted Kilt, which was like a Hooter-esque type restaurant that was around for a very short time. It did not last very long. I guess neither did the building that they were in, though. But yeah, no, it has to be appropriate. This video, I've actually had something to talk about. I've gone back and forth on to talk about it or not. Yeah, so fatherhood. What's it mean to me? What's it mean to different people? It's kind of a hard question for me to answer for a couple reasons. Because one, it's ever evolving for me, and for hopefully most adults or parents that have children. We have to change our style of parenting as they grow and become the human beings that we hope they become, or the human beings who they want to become, because what we want for them and what they want for themselves are not always the same thing. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but could potentially cause issues if the kid wants to go in a way that is a hazard to your health or their health, or anyone that is around. And then for some reason lately it's come up a lot about apologizing to people and children in general. It's one thing I started doing a lot, and making sure I did was apologizing for stuff. Admitting I was wrong at something, whether it's something as simple as just Blake said something, I said that wasn't right, and Blake was right and I was wrong. I would make sure I tell him that he was right, I was wrong. Same thing with Becca. More times than not, I'm quick to yell at the kids, and then feel remorseful afterwards. So I've worked on that, but on Friday there was an incident that I yelled at him, and we rode home in silence from Rockford. And we got a truck, and everything's fine with both kids. So we talk, and you apologize, and they know I'm trying to do better. So everyone tells each other we love each other, and it's water under the bridge at some point. But I still try to improve that and not be the person that has to apologize for my actions, and be the person that doesn't need to apologize because the actions I took were appropriate for the situation, for the person they're aimed towards, and why I never hit my kids or anything. It's not their fault all the time, and I should not be so quick to flip out. But at the same time, kind of look at life and everything, and we're coming up. Well, we're over a year with this COVID stuff, and this whole time it's been me and the kids here, and so that's been rough at times because there's no getting away from each other. That's been probably the toughest part about all of this is a kid may go to my mom's once in a while, so it's not like we have a lot of time without them, and especially not me. We'll get lucky and have a night where it just so fell that one kid went somewhere, another kid went somewhere else. And usually we're just so exhausted we don't do anything anyways. So that's hard. That's a it's a strain. That's not the word I'm looking for, but it's what it wears on you. And I don't think we necessarily complain about our situation, the fact we have the kids all the time and stuff like that. But if we do, we shouldn't, because there's people that literally never get a break, and they don't have a parent 12 miles away or whatever my mother is, and other people around, so should not complain. But for me, fatherhood's been good. Not that I got in trouble before, but in a way it kept me out of trouble and gave me something to use to improve myself, because I can't be a good person to society and do this or that or whatever, and come home and be a monster to my family. And I don't believe I am 98% of the time. Problem is 2% still a lot to flip out on a little kid. Again, I don't hit anyone. Try to stay off fights. So I've never hit a woman, never would. So yeah, I don't know why I keep saying the same things. I didn't write down. I thought out what I want to talk about, but sometimes once I actually start talking, the thought processes just go haywire, and what you want to talk about doesn't sound so cool as it's coming out of your mouth. All my fatherly wisdom for the last 9 years was just supposed to spew out. I decided to do nothing. Maybe I don't have any fatherly wisdom. Some of them must have. Water. Going to Chicago next weekend for an escape room. So I gotta go have a COVID test done. Made it a year and I haven't had one. Needed one. I don't leave enough most of the time. We're going to Chicago, so I have to have one in order to go and participate in the escape room. If I don't escape, they're just gonna lock me in there forever. I'll become part of the puzzle. I'm just dead, laying in the corner. They're probably gonna bury a key in my hip bone, because that's what I would do. Hate when people won't do their job. Yeah, but going back to fatherhood, lately I had issues with Blake not sleeping and some other stuff. You just don't know what to do. You know, I can see signs of some of the stuff and understand some of it, and then out of left field you'll just get some ridiculous thing that he does, and you have no clue why any human being would ever do that. But he's different. He's special. I mean, he's Blake. He seems fairly secure in his personality. He loves electronics and video games. Too much so, but I set the expectation that what I want for my kids is them to be happy and good people, and that means finding your own way at some point. I'm a planner. Like this trip to Rome was 500 and something days still, and every couple days I'll just go and look at flights that would be comparable for time of year. And I know it's not gonna make a world of difference, because what a flight price is this year in October does not mean it's gonna be the same price next year. So there's that, and then you look at hotels, and it's vastly different than America, where we typically stay at like a Holiday Inn Express or something in that hotel chain. Occasionally we'll stay at like a Hilton or something in that hotel chain. Or, if we're going somewhere specific, we may stay at like a Great Wolf Lodge or a Kalahari Resort. So, I mean, you have a slightly different price range depending on what activities we're doing. But when I looked over there, it's like, you're renting this part of this house and this mansion, and so that's weird. And then the car situation, and just get antsy because I can't do anything about it. It's just sitting there way out in the distance, and yeah, besides that, I finally started yoga. Well, one night. Tonight I'll get off work and I have to get some work done for school. I did work for charities the last couple nights and spent hours emailing and trying to find different information for people, and doing that. So now I guess I gotta focus on the thing that's actually gonna pay the bills at some point. Got slacking though. So I need to get the applications in for other schools, so I don't gotta spend any more time at this school for a master's program that I'm not gonna finish. I haven't done that. I've talked to advisors and counselors and the deans of schools, and had really, really, really good undergrad grades. when I went back to school. And the school seeing that seems to at least interest them, and then the fact that I've done some of my own research and paid for it myself. Apparently, I was a lot more motivated than I realized at one point in life. But now, like I was mentioning earlier about all this events that I do, like I was talking to Emily or something, and I started looking at everything I do, and it's crazy. Stupid. And I enjoy all of it, but at what point does the world come crashing down, and enjoying it means very little when you can't get what really matters done, if it's being a parent, being an employee, being an employer, anything. Lots of things. But yeah, not just gonna sit here in silence. So I wasn't sure when I was gonna film this one and everything else. We'll end it here. Try to have some more stuff to talk about. Make some more videos this week than I did towards the back half of last week. Just trying to make videos once I actually have something to talk about. Get videos like today where I have something to talk about. And I'm sitting here working and I'm like, okay, it's a good time to make a video. All of a sudden you can't remember what you're going to talk about. Been hitting the head too many times. But, as always, such is my life. Talk to you guys later. Bye.